Hello, what I'm going to show you today is how to change a radiator valve. You may want to change it because it's leaking or it's not working, or you may want to replace it to a thermostatic radiator valve or install a drain off valve. I'm going to show you how to do that without losing hardly any water out of the system. Now we've got water coming out the valve from two sides. One's from the radiator here and the other one is the connection pipe which connects to the bottom here. Now what we're going to do with the connection pipe that comes in at the bottom is to freeze it. Now this has got a foam sleeve. If you go to your local plumbers merchants and ask for a freezing kit, they cost about £20, but you have to weigh that up against draining and refilling your system. And don't forget you've got all your heating additives, your Fernox and your inhibitors in the system, which if you drain you're throwing away, and that can cost about £25 to replenish your system. So it is worth doing. So on this case we've got the sleeve on here which we have frozen, so that prevents the water from coming up the pipe here. Now the next thing is to stop the water coming out of this side here. Now what you do is you turn the valve off at the other end, so that isolates the radiator. Now then, we know there's no water coming up here, so we have to stop the water coming out of here. Now we're going to use the rad clamps for that. You attach a rad clamp to one end, like that. Now I've already turned off the radiator there, that's frozen. I've opened the air vent key to release any excess pressure. It's critical that you reclose that before you do this next stage. Now how these work, these rad clamps, is you get a rubber seal, a membrane, which is very thin. If you look down there, it's very thin and it slips very easily into the gap and it holds over the end of the pipe. Now to demonstrate that, I've got here a bottle of water, as you can see there. Now how it works, that's the same as the end of the tailpiece which sticks out of the actual radiator there. So I place that over there and just stretch it over, as you can see. If you can see there, no water coming out, and I can show you it's not a trick bottle or whatever. Take that off, same bottle, there's the water. So we can see that works. So the next thing to do is to insert the connecting rod into the block and have that sliding backwards and forwards ready. Just place that in like that. Get your seal to hand. Now I've got a cloth on here because you are going to get a few drips. Now don't be mistaken to think that when you undo this water will pour out, because you've got a vacuum in the radiator holding the water back in. Now it can be done very quickly, this. So don't be too worried about doing it. So the first thing to do is to get your rad wrench and hold the valve steady and undo this nut. Don't forget these can be very tight, so you need a good bit of pressure in holding the valve and undoing the nut. So that's slackened it. Just maintain the pressure with your finger of the valve onto the union there, and very little will come out, if anything. Sometimes you can be very lucky and nothing at all will come out. Now just hold that there like that. Get a few drips there. That's now separated. Now the next thing to do is to quickly insert rubber end first into that gap, like so. Now that's it, it's sealed, you don't have to panic now. Now you hook that up to the connecting rod, just slide it in, give it a turn, and you pull that way, pull the whole thing that way, so the rubber is now stretching over the outlet and tying up the little pinch bolt there. Okay, so that is now held in place. Can you see? Same principle as the bottle, it's holding the water inside the radiator. Now we are free to take off the valve. Let's get the grips. So we're taking off this valve now, just undo the connecting nut. So if you can see, we've hardly lost any water. There's water in the top of there, just a little bit that's left, and that's frozen off. Now just imagine you want to replace it with a drain off. We can use the existing tailpiece which is in there, check by screwing that to the old valve. 9 times out of 10 you can do this, use the old tailpiece, there's nothing wrong with it. There's the tailpiece, we know it's that one, the old one is going to fit onto the new valve. Take off the nut on the olive because that's already on the pipe. Get some sealing compound, in this case Boss White. Just get a little bit on your finger and smear it around the inside of the union face there. Don't put too much in it and don't get it on the threads. If you get a little bit on threads it doesn't matter, but on the union face there, just coat it all the way around. Next, place that over the nut and just tighten it up finger tight. Just finger tight for now. And don't forget you've got about 45 minutes once that's frozen to work. So you have to be reasonably quick with it. Just tweak that up a little bit. Tighten up a little bit. Okay, and you've got some swivel there now, so it'll swivel about. Now we need to reconnect, and it's just as quick to reconnect it as to disconnect. So what we do is just disconnect, undo the pinch bolt there. So that's now loose. Just quickly spin that out of the way and place that back on. That's it. You can ignore the rad clamp now and just concentrate on getting that nipped up. Beautiful. There you go. And just hold the valve and retighten. Use your rad wrench to hold the valve in place and tighten that up. That's retightened. And then don't forget this one at the bottom here. You can take this out of the way now. Just slide that out of the way. That's that finished with. Now retighten up the nut at the bottom. Like that. Push your new cap back on. Take off the rad clamp, put it back in your set. Cut off the sleeve here, just snip that off. That'll thaw out in its own time. In fact, you don't have to refill the system because the water and everything is still inside. Is very little will be lost. So the rad clamps, of course, are designed to take a radiator off with the water inside. If you use a rad clamp on both ends, in the kit you do get 2 in a kit. Use it on both sides, you can take the radiator off in effect with full of water, but this is an additional benefit in that you can change a valve at one end by doing it that way. So yeah, that's how you do it.